day. So if you're watching on good old YouTube, give me one of these thumbs up, will you? It helps. And then if you want to hear more about the things that I do, get that notification bell going on. So today we're going to be talking about old school, the magic marketing tool. So I'm going to go get my friend Bo out of the green room. He's somewhere around here. Go get him. Go get him. There he is. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, Bo.
Hey, Magic Brad. How are you, buddy?
I did a show last night for the Frisbee Rotary. That was a lot of fun.
You did?
Yes.
Are you a Rotarian, Brad?
Yes and no. I've been attempting to join, but the guy that handles the membership was on vacation, and now he's coming back, and so I'm in the process of
excellent
going.
Fabulous service organization. I'm proud to be a member. Yeah. Good for you.
And I'm also looking at the Lions. You ever been involved with the Lions?
I haven't. I know several Lions that have been around that organization for a long time. Another great service organization that does amazing things.
It's interesting when because you got business people around you. The conversation, the tone is totally different than if you go to like an AGC networking event. Yeah. It's
I watched your video yesterday a little bit, right? You were talking about how kind of having a non-alcohol driven kind of event, right? And right away, that was the first thing I thought of. Like, well, I go to Noon Rotary, and it's that has nothing. There's none of that. My morning meeting every Thursday morning, we don't drink mimosas, and so both of those are healthy. So either a civic organization or a morning networking usually is going to stay the course of business connections without.
There's definitely that. I remember there was a woman that did it was called a Sharp Upswing, and it was like a expo vendor thing, and their logo was a martini glass.
Oh, wow.
I just find that weird because a lot of business revolves around alcohol. It's happy hour, kind of after hour stuff.
I think we could talk about this for days, but you're right. Alcohol is a unique thing. It's not only, it's beyond socially accepted, it's socially encouraged. And that makes it challenging for those that don't drink, either by choice or because they're in recovery. And so you put those people in a specific environment that's not the most comfortable. And it even goes beyond socially encouraged. It's, if you're the one oddball that's not drinking, there's this pressure. And even people that attend those events, it's not just can I get you something, and then you say no, I'll politely decline. There's often like this extra effort to like, are you sure? Why? If somebody declines, just move on, right? Or I'll have a water. Oh, you don't drink? It's really interesting that you bring that up because it's I've gone almost a year without having a drink of beer. We had a golf outing, and they had made something at one of the golf holes, right? And I drank a little bit of that just to try it for the flavor, right? But it wasn't like to get to drink. Anyways, but my wife has been in recovery for a long time, and all of the events that I've gone to corporately, we've been to one before where coffee wasn't even an option. There's bottles of wine everywhere. They'll get you an alcoholic beverage, but it was like, can I get a coffee? Nope, sorry. Like, how are we catering to people that actually are totally uncomfortable in this room right now? You know what I mean? Like,
it is a weird thing. And it's also strange to me that it's illegal to drink and drive, yet bars have these huge parking lots.
Yeah.
And people leave there. Maybe they had one.
Yeah.
Probably not. They might have had 2, 3.
That's right.
But especially if they're leaving the club at closing time.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of, to me, you get into conspiracy theories. This is way off topic, by the way.
We always tend to go down a different path. But we're going to circle back. Okay.
We are going to circle back. And I know you got a busy day today, so we're going to cut it kind of tight. And I've got to say, I'm going to go downtown. There's a friend of ours that has a hot dog stand. And I was thinking about getting a hot dog stand and start a little hot dog business.
There's a tremendous opportunity in that space, if you ask me. Tremendous.
I'm thinking it would be fun too.
I think it'd be fun with your personality. with the right personality, that can be incredibly
Got our
successful.
friend Cindy Lee pushing my mailbox power stuff out for
Look
me.
at that. She's a rock star. Yeah, it's the hot dog stand is I've always been interested in that concept because I'm with you. I think it could be really enjoyable. I think that the only challenge now is like if you wanted to set one up in a downtown space for that, there's a little less activity, right? But out by a park or a lake, in a smaller community like mine, we used to have one here, and it was Frank's Red Hot.
The cart is you can take it where the people are.
Right, and the carts are not way overpriced either. I mean, you can get yourself into a business for a minimal investment.
Considered it because it's one of those things where people come to you and you don't have to chase them. And you can do other things too. People have done like biscuits and gravy in the morning, or you can start doing things like you got the chili there, so why not do the chili Fritos thing?
Yeah.
You can end up doing other things. So
yeah.
I'm seriously thinking about it. Put a little trail hitch on my car and not
do it
big. I don't think I want to have them all over the place or anything.
Just do it. Yeah, and back to what having chili, you might as well. Yeah, you could have walking tacos too, right? I mean, you just have bags, and you've got maybe some meat that you might top a hot dog with, right? A coney dog kind of thing. But it's perfect. I mean, I think the concept's brilliant. So all right, I can't wait to try
it. It could be promoted with something like Mailbox Power and a QR code.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
I was thinking about that. That's kind of what the old school deal is. Do I have that little banner?
Pull that up.
What did I put up there? What is this? Is this old school?
There you go.
Magic marketing tool. So for those that don't know what the magic marketing tool domain goes to, it goes to a program that Bo and I use called Mailbox Power. And I was thinking about that for something even like a hot dog business where you can, because you're going to be at different places, you can kind of schedule that out. I'm going to be at the Uptown Art Fair. I'm going to be at the Home Depot in Fridley. I'm going to be, and you could put that on a little, scan this code to find out where the magic hot dog stand is going to be this week.
Yep.
And just have an updated schedule.
Well, and then think about it. At your stand, you could use the same program, right? Mailbox Power. You could do a stick up, which are these really amazing stickers, right? That are reattachable with the QR code. So as clients show up, right, they buy their thing from you. If they have a positive experience, you ask them to scan it, and that will be their way to say, where's he at today or this weekend, right? So it's interesting. I had a conversation yesterday with Eileen and Bob Meckley. They're also Mailbox Power users. Do you know them?
No.
Okay. So Eileen and Bob, they have been very, very successful in different companies in network marketing space and other things. Eileen's brilliant. And she is just, both of them are just a joy to speak to. I had a great conversation yesterday with them. And we were talking about all kinds of things. Interesting enough, Eileen Meckley yesterday was the 1-year anniversary, unfortunately, of her father's passing. He was the guy that created the witness protection program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So obviously you could probably talk to her for days about just that and her upbringing and what that was like, right? So she's fascinating. But we talked about the power of that QR code and stick up at like a service organization. You get your tires changed, you get your oil changed, whatever. You don't need Zapier and systems talking to each other and all that. You just need to have a sticker, big QR code, ask your clients to scan it and join your customer appreciation program.
They're reusable, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're not magnetic. They're actually sticky.
And they leave no residue behind. So you can just peel them off, put them somewhere else. They're not static clings.
You could create a group of them and have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and have a little scan trivia of the day and get a free bag.
Exactly.
And all that kind of stuff. So a creative marketer can get into so many things. But the old school thing that I'm getting back on is these postcards actually get delivered. Because I did this QR code thing and I got this code on a track so I can see if people scanned it in. Right. And I see it going up. Whereas with email blasts and stuff, I've seen them going down.
Yeah.
I zip through my phone with my email delete. I'm just deleting these things. And even if there's one I'm interested in, I need to delete the ones on top of it so the one I'm interested in is prominent and I save that as new, so it's still there, and maybe put a star on it. But it's really easy to lose that when you get a plethora of emails. Whereas this, it's there.
Oh, nice toss. Nice catch there, by the way. Wow. But you're absolutely right. I have a couple of postcards sitting right here that I've received. Actually, one from you and a couple others from other people that's sitting right here. They're waiting for me to go back to them again. They haven't disappeared. We're like my email inbox or trash folder, but they'd be gone by now. Yeah, email is an important piece, I think, of the puzzle of having an email list and sending a reasonable amount of content on a regular basis. But it is a gift if you can write great copy to get people to read it and headlines.
I got a friend that doesn't use email anymore. He said it's just too ineffective. It's just a big time suck. He uses things like Facebook Messenger to communicate with his people.
Yeah.
Or sending texts and things like that.
We had I'll have to read this to you. We had a guy yesterday. So I was privileged to be on a 3-hour Zoom yesterday with an insurance mastermind, if you will. And I know you've used that phrase. His name's Troy Korsgaden, and he is notorious in my industry. He started an agency in California. Was just kind of, trudging along for the first 5, 6 years, 7 years of his career. And then he made a pivot, made a change in his agency. He eventually had 25 people employed in the smaller community. And 21 years, I think, straight, he was top 100 out of about 15,000 agencies across the country. Twice, he was number one agent in the company. And then he has spent the last several years as an international consultant for insurance and other space. So this guy's brilliant in the industry, right? And he talked about we have to meet people where they want to be met. We need to communicate with them where they want to communicate. He said, for example, I've got some police officers. They send me messenger things all the time. And I respond back going, why are you doing this? Why don't you pick up the phone and call me like a normal person or send me an email? Why are you using Messenger? Or why are you using, and they respond like, Messenger's not monitored, but text is, and this and that. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. But he talked about in the future, let's face it, we're going to have holograms. Whether you want to believe it or not, we're going to drop into people's living rooms.
That's already happening. People are turning themselves into cartoons.
Yeah. If that's how someone wants to communicate, that's where we got to meet them. Obviously it's beyond the insurance world. It's everywhere. So email for some it's an absolute turnoff. I can send an email to somebody about a past due bill. Mm-hmm. But if I may never hear back. I send them a text. I hear back in like 5 seconds. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, there's also a thing that someone said, I don't remember who the hell it was, but contacting people, it's usually an interruption. Correct. If you're in the business, the process of doing something, they get interrupted. Now they have to evaluate and prioritize. Is it worth my time? Whereas, again, when you send a postcard, it's there. They can consume it whenever they want to.
I think that's the key lesson because we talk about how, it's not an appropriate term, but our time gets hijacked frequently, right? By different incoming messages. We're all getting just barrage of things.
I think that's an appropriate term. It's that people talk about the shiny object and they joke about it all the time, but it's happening all the time. I mean, the nice thing right now is there's no distractions on StreamYard.
Yeah.
But if we were on Facebook doing a Facebook Live, there's going to be stuff in the periphery.
There is. You're absolutely right. I intentionally have mine off while I'm talking because I don't need that distraction. Yeah. While you and I are visiting, because that's what we should be doing, right? Focusing on this conversation.
It's hard. There's a lot. I mean, we do have peripheral vision, so it's easy. I can see things in my office. What if I should grab that? Here's a little gift that you sent me.
Yeah, but you're right. The postcard is not an interruption. It's
yes, and stuff like this that you sent me. When this is sitting on my desk and I use it, I think, okay, Bo sent that to me, so it keeps people top of mind. Whereas,
you brought that up. You showed that, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that Mr. Troy Korsgaden shared yesterday that I had to write down that goes into any industry that works with what you're talking about. This phrase here stuck with me. Giving starts the receiving process. Mm-hmm. I like it. When you give, it is amazing what can happen on the other side, right? You can go look at our relationship as an example, right? I said a little something to you. You're like, there's something to this. Let's have a chat. Next thing you know, we're speaking every week.
To get
that giving starts the receiving process. So I thought that was fantastic. The other thing that a couple things he shared is you need to be top of mind for consideration. That's all we want to be, is considered. And if you're not top of mind, you can't be considered. So a postcard program that's consistent, this and that, is what keeps you a consideration, right? And to some people, maybe it's a turnoff, and that's okay. They'll move on. Big deal.
And the graphics on the postcard, you don't put a lot of stuff into it. Sometimes I just do a weird picture, like I had a picture of a guy going like,
yeah,
so frustrated, and then that triggers a thought. And just putting some, like that horse and rider puzzle thing, it's got some longevity to it that people actually engage with, anything like that. And then there's the other things too, all these other, the coffee mugs and the edibles and all that. I sent some birthday brownies to James Carlson that does this Latino events, and he saw me on the boat, and that's the first thing he said, "Hey, thanks for the brownies. They're wonderful."
Yeah. It's amazing. I found that out over a year ago, where I would show up to, well, I guess it's been more than a year and a half before things were closed down, where I would show up to just about any event in town, and someone would naturally say, those brownies though, that's how it usually started. And then somebody else would hear it. What's with the brownies? So it became kind of the brownie guy, and I've been known as worse than the brownie guy, so I'll take that. But yeah, so the postcard concept, I know we have there's somebody else in this space, and I think this is worth chatting about. There's somebody else in the personalized card space out there, right? I'm not going to name any name of companies in this and that, but one company in particular has a program right now, and for like $97 a month, you can send unlimited postcards. It includes postage. Well, that's a compelling offer. I look at that and say, wow, that's pretty awesome if you send a lot of postcards. But here's what it doesn't work, because every one of those has to be unique. So you take a photo, put it on a postcard, photo on a postcard, photo. You can't send the exact same thing that you have that you want to send to 500 people for that deal. That's a completely separate thing. And so I don't feel as if this MailBoxPower company has any real competition for what they're doing with using the merge fields, with the price point they have, a $49 a month resource that's out of this world. And unlimited postcards only pay postage. It doesn't matter if it's printed. I don't know why it matters. Like, they're still printing. They're just using ink. So whatever gets printed, if it's the same thing for 1,000 cards, or if it's one unique one each time, you can do whatever you want for the same price point. And I think that, combined with the fact that you can actually personalize labels on gifts or coffee mugs, and our new premier packaging, that is out of this world. Like, it's so classy. And so it's interesting to me that not literally almost everybody in sales or in business doesn't use the system like this, because it's too easy.
Another comment from our friend Cindy Lee: brownies to the waistline.
Yeah. Coasters are awesome. I love the luggage tags. I love so many different gifts that we have in the system. The food goes quick. It's a great one-hit thing. I'll give you an example.
A lot of people don't realize with this, yes, you can send stuff, but they don't understand the other tools that are inside. There's a whole list building process. So if you can go and you want to find people that are in a 5-mile radius of a certain area that have an interest in yoga, you can target those people and then start sending them things. And you can automate that so it saves you time, because time is a commodity. We run out of it. There's only 24 hours in a day. And then you can add that print merge feature, like you got Magic Brad on here.
Yeah.
Best marketing legend ever, it says.
Well, it's just the truth.
It could have said Magic Brad, and then the next person would said Steve and Wendy and Carl. Right. And it'll merge, so you can send, like postcards. You can send 500 postcards, and each one is going to be like the one that you use that has your name all over it. Yeah. Every postcard would have each individual person's name on it.
Without having to create a unique order, right?
Huh?
Without having to create a unique order. It just does it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a print merge feature. So a lot of people don't realize that the MailBoxPower has all the stuff, and then the way to deliver it is United States Postal Service with the postage, and then it's got the print merge capability, the address lookup capability, and the automation capability.
Yeah.
I think that is so powerful.
It absolutely is. And you look at this concept, right? Where I started saying about like a service provider. So a local tire shop, right, that wants somebody to receive a gift after they've purchased something from them, but they don't want to have their system that's kind of probably outdated talk to some new system like MailBoxPower. So what's the solution? What's the workaround that's pretty easy to facilitate? It's a stick up that has a QR code, and the QR code directly takes them to the I need your mailbox. It adds them into a database, into a grouping that is automatically tied to a mailing, right? So they don't go to a website that's like complex. It's literally just a digital Rolodex. Hey, I need you to fill this out and join our customer appreciation program, whatever you want to call it. When they as they're waiting to like check out and they're waiting for their credit card to go through or whatever it is, just please fill this out. And it's automated that card and gift or whatever you pre-established is going to mail to them. They self-administered it. There's no work by the cashier or by anybody after it's set up. And that is brilliant to me. That system, that automation you talk about, along with personalization on the back end, that is an absolute game changer. So
I know if I do this hot dog cart thing, I'm going to do a birthday program where they scan in the QR code on the hot dog stand, and then they get a postcard that says, bring this postcard for a free dog.
There you go.
Doing that.
It's a no-brainer.
Totally. Because it's totally automated, like you said.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We can't get time back, right? We can lose money, but we can make more money. We can't get time back, and if we want something that is that does not technologically challenge you. You just want it to save you time, not make you waste time. So this concept that it allows you to do that, there's no work involved as soon as it's done. It's just going to self facilitate and wow people over and over and over again.
One thing I wanted to say that if anybody that's listening, if you need help setting things up, you can talk to either Bo or myself, and we'll help you set up because it's really not that difficult.
Nope.
But there's so many other things that are happening. It seems like it's complicated.
Yeah.
Like creating a QR code. Presently, you can do that with Canva. It's really, really easy. You just put your domain in there, and it gives you a QR code, and ta-da! Now you got a graphic you can put in your postcard. Yeah,
Canva is a great resource. I had used a different one. I've now been turned over to the Canva because those just flat out just aren't going to expire. If you got something you want to have some longevity behind, but you're right. And to some people, they're like QR code and creating that and it ties to a website. There's too much. That's why there's people to help get it set up. So don't let the paralysis of analysis set in.
That's why I think once you set something up, that's what takes the time. But after that, like with the QR code on the hot dog stand kind of thing, just sitting there, just the thing that says join our birthday club, scan this card with your phone.
Yeah.
While they're sitting there waiting, what are they going to do? You know?
Right.
They're going to.
It's perfect.
And it'll automatically trigger that thing that says, hey, thank you for stopping by. And by the way, you're on the birthday club, so keep your eyes on your mailbox when your birthday comes.
Right. Well, and you can even have it set up, right? Postcards are free plus postage. That as soon as they've joined the club, they get a postcard that says, thank you for joining my club. That way they understand what they filled out actually did something. You joined my club, and maybe that first postcard says, not only thank you for joining, your next soda's on me, or something as an invite, right? Right away, right? So in about a week after they've scanned the code and it got mailed and all that stuff. I mean, it's so incredibly powerful. It shows this follow-up and that you're technologically on it.
This is making me angry.
Uh-oh. You're leaning in. What's going on? Why are you angry?
Because I want to get attention. That's how it works. You lean in, you get attention.
Hey, guess who did that yesterday?
When you want someone to pay attention, you lean forward, and then when you don't want them to be hot on your hands, you relax back.
Yep. Troy, our guest speaker yesterday, Troy, So he did that often. He's like, yeah, I'm getting in your face. And he came in like that.
The reason I'm kind of angry is, and I'm not really angry, but it's frustrating that there's this system could be used by so many people. And I don't know if maybe some kind of internal, like real estate agents, they've already got a system in place. And financial planners, they kind of already have their system in place.
Yep.
This can be used as a supplement to that. But all these places like restaurants and stuff, they're complaining about people, we don't have that much business and the competitors beating us. Well, start a birthday club and send out postcards for 37 cents. You don't think you could invite somebody and give them free hors d'oeuvres?
Yeah, it's too simple. But here's what we talked about yesterday. The law of 72. The law of 72 is pretty critical thing. So basically, here's this, Brett. We're talking about the system. We're talking about ideas that are all really good. The law of 72 says if you do not implement an idea or a change within 72 hours of hearing it, you are not going to do that. So if you're watching this, you got to take some action, or you're going to be thinking about this in a year saying, I wish I should have done that. So the law of 72 it's basically law that you've got to take action. So that is the key, is getting a process started. It's reaching out to Brad and saying, how do I do this? And having him walk you through it, get going and get doing it. And I realize that that's just the problem, is that people think it's a good idea, but they just don't take action. So you have to ask permission. Hey, can I follow up with you? Knowing that most people don't implement in 72 hours, but that's what they need to do. Can I follow up with you in a week if you haven't done this yet? Right? Get permission to help people help themselves. And I think it can be effective. And I had forgot about that law, but I realize that when I go to conventions, I hear great ideas. I take notes and I come back to my agency.
The action has to be it can be minuscule.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be like, you don't need to like all of a sudden just enter your credit card and start doing stuff. You can simply go to magicmarketingtool.com and enter your name and email.
Right. Start the process.
All you have to do. And then if you change your mind, you can change your mind. Again, people that's the whole old school thing, the simplicity. I got a lot of this from when I was up north there and I didn't have any internet access. The simple, it's refreshing to kind of go back to old school and the old school direct mail, physical world. I mean, the internet's wonderful and dynamic and always changing and global and all that kind of stuff. But dang, simplify stuff.
And I think many would look at this and say, no, this is going to make it harder, or it's more advanced or whatever. No, the design is to make it simpler. I'll give you an example. We have some people that have always handwritten, right, thank yous, and it has become a burden for the person that is responsible for that. It is so much work to get it done. And they realize it's not as appreciated as it maybe once was, especially if it's just a signed card, right? If it was a full handwritten note with all the impersonal details and that's a different deal. I love handwritten cards. But if it's something that's more of it's a multiple go out to different people, right? There's no reason to take that much energy to have your system do that when it can be automated and still look very nice. It's crazy.
It was really easy for me to do this thing. I just created the graphic in Canva, and this was for that cruise that we went on. I mailed that out to the people, and it's just really basic. It doesn't have all the detail. It just has the date and time.
Right.
And then if they want to know more, they can go to the Twin Cities Business Event. More.
And let's look at that. Pull that back up again. Show me the front of that.
This part?
Yeah. So imagine if on the front of that, you had use the merge fields and it put Bo, imagine being stranded, right? It put my name on the front of it.
Yes.
That's one thing that this system could do. So it's going to
start doing that more. I'm not using the merge.
It's because it's nerve-wracking if you've got it wrong. But the reality is that what would happen to that card? It would pop like, holy smokes. Like, this isn't to the resident of. This is like it's to me. It pops off the screen, right? And some people have really embraced that. I've been nervous about it myself because you just don't want it to be wrong. That is it's more reliable.
Well, that's
try that.
Well, some of my stuff says like attention event planner.
Yeah.
So that's what it would say. It would say attention event planner. And
what if it said attention and the event planner's name?
That's what
Now
I mean. Eventually, I got to get I got a lot of my stuff is personal still, but I do have the mails that came in. And that's one thing that's cool that I got a list of opportunity seekers when I lived in Minnetonka. That's someone I'm sending some stuff to. That has their names.
Yeah, there you go.
People that live there. So you can find dog lovers and you're going to get their personal names.
Right.
Definitely you can merge it that way.
Right. Well, I tell you what, so I think I told you right before we started, I've got a back kind of day. So I got to cut it short. We can't go 45 minutes. We got to shut it down.
Yes, we do. I thought we were going to keep it to like 10 or 15, but we got into rambling. So.
I love chatting with you, Mr. Brad.
Okay. It's fun. So
it is.
Comment thing here. Oh, our friend Mike.
There he is, Mike. Hey, Mike. Good to see/hear from you again.
And our friend Frank Togus was on here too. He did a lot.
Hey, fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope it wasn't a waste of anybody's time. But
no,
I think what we need to do, Brad, is we probably should in one of our next few things we should go back in the system again, do a little walkthrough, let some people see it, and maybe it'll catch for some.
We could do that. We could do a screen share kind of thing. It would be nice if there's some people that were interacting and were interested in MailBoxPower, but I think a lot of these people are interested in us.
We're very interesting, yeah.
At least I'd like to think that.
Yeah.
Okay, Bo, I'm going to put you in the green room, and if you want to stick around, I'll say goodbye to you, but I'm going to pop you off here.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Well, we did get sidetracked a little bit. I appreciate Bo so much. It's fun talking with him about this stuff, and we're obviously passionate about this piece of software because it works really, really good to be able to connect with people. But I appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to sign this one off. Enjoy your day. Be well.